Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to see how we can call Power Automate Flow from the Code apps. This is very recent feature which has been added into Code apps to basically allow us to call the Power Automate flows like the way we are connecting with any other data source. Also, one important thing which we are going to do differently in this video is that we are going to create the Code apps project from scratch by using npm CLI tooling. Okay, so this is also a new way, new feature which has been added through which we would be able to easily create the project easily at the data source and everything. This has to be done using npm CLI tool. So if you are just getting started with the Code apps, this CLI approach is definitely something which we should explore. And like coming back to the topic, why do we need to call Power Automate from the Code apps? So typically when you do any canvas based application, right, what we generally have is we might have certain data source which you would have added, which is going to connect to your data source, display data and everything. But if you want something to be done at the automation side, wherein uh, you have to call a Power Automate flow from the Power Apps, and there are many scenarios which in which we do this, right? You might want to trigger an workflow, you might want to trigger an export button. In fact, you might want to upload an attachment and upload it to a document library. Then there is no native way of doing it from the Canvas app, right? In that case also we use Power Automate, and there are n numbers of basically cases wherein we have to call Power Automate flows from our apps to do certain kind of integration. So this is very important, and today we are going to see how we can do similar thing using from Code apps. Let us explore first the documentation, right? So if you go to official Microsoft documentation, here when you go to now quick start to create a Code apps, basically it is telling us the step which we have to follow using new npm CLI, npm CLI. So this is what we are going to kind of follow today. Second thing is when you go to add new and when you click on add flows, so this is an official documentation where there are steps which are been mentioned on how you can basically call a Power Automate flow from the Code apps. What are the steps to be done, what are some limitation and consideration, all of this which we are going to see in today's video. So let's get started. First thing is what I will do, I will basically create a directory in the targeted folder. Sorry. Okay, and now we are going to follow the step, right? The first thing is that what do you want to do is you wanted to basically clone an existing project template which is available, which is basically going to download it from the GitHub repo. And this is a template project. Okay, so this project basically makes us easier so that we don't have to manually follow certain steps. If you have watched already my first hello world of how to create a hello world PowerApps Code apps, there are some manual steps which are there. If you directly start it from here, it just becomes easier. The template is basically have already completed all the manual steps which we have to do. It has all the PowerApps SDK and everything installed so that we can directly kind of start using it, right? So let's wait till the project template gets downloaded. Okay, so it has downloaded. Now let's go to the targeted folder, which is my apps, and then if you see here, it says you need to install the dependency, right? So that is important because it will not have all the npm module installed. So I'll just start running this command. It will take some time to basically completely run the npm install. Okay, so the npm install has run, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to now open this into the code editor. I trust the folder, and you can see that the source code has been generated, right? Now the second thing is we need to init it. We need to initialize the PowerApps SDK, right? Why we need to do that is because it needs to make sure that it has been initialized with the PowerApps related stuff. So right now the template which we have downloaded doesn't have any PowerApps related initialization code. So as soon as you will run this command, which is mpx PowerApps init, it is going to ask you certain questions which you can basically answer. What do you want to call your app? What should be the targeted environment and everything. And once you will do that, then it is where it would be able to do it. So it's asking you the Power Automate environment. So my Power Automate environment is this. And I would say uh, flow demo app. Okay, so this is done. So what it would have done is it would have created basically the power config file, sorry, the ts config file and the power config file to basically make sure that the yeah, so the power config file to make sure that it has the configuration value. Okay, now ideally our um, solution is ready, okay, to be basically run it on the local. So if you want to run it, you can just say npm dev run. So I'm going to do that, and it is going to run, and we are going to see an URL which we are going to get. So what you have to do is you have to copy this URL and paste it into your target environment, and then you can see that our code is running from the local machine as if we are running it in the Canvas app. I'm going to refresh it again. So as you can see, it has completed, and we can see the landing page doing it. Landing page been loaded. Okay, now what we have to do is if you go to the official documentation, we just need to add a Power Automate flow as in data source. But to do that, first thing is there are some prerequisite. The prerequisite is that the flow has to be already been created, right? Because we won't be able to create a flow from our code apps. So consider that you have a flow which is created. Second thing is the flow trigger should be a PowerApps trigger, right? And that is very obvious that, okay, because we are going to call it from the PowerApps, the flow trigger should be a PowerApps trigger. And then one more prerequisite is that it has to be a solution aware flow. Without that, we won't be able to basically kind of add, or it will not list, or it will not work with any other flows which are independent flows which are outside of the solution. The first thing we need to make sure is that we have the flow basically been added into our Power Automate or Power Platform solutions. Okay, so for testing purpose, what I did is I had created a very simple flow which is just basically taking couple of inputs and just passing the output, right? So let's see the video, let's see the how the Power Automate flow is, and then I have added that flow into a solution to make sure that the flow has been added to a solution, right? So the trigger for the Power Automate flow should be calling a Power Automate from the Power Apps, right? And so when a PowerApps calls the flow, this is the trigger. I have simple input 1, 2, and 3. Three inputs. I just wanted to make sure that I show you how you can pass the input from your this thing. Then there is a initialize variable, which is basically an variable which is doing nothing but just an string hi there, and then we are responding it back. Now when we are responding it back, I wanted to respond with two output. One is that I am called, and output 2 means I am there. So we are going to get the JSON back into our calling apps, which we will see. Ideally in your real world scenario, you will do all kind of automations or any kind of steps which you want to add here, but just need to make sure that you are responding it back to the code apps, whatever you wanted to say as a success, as a output of the flow, or anything which you wanted to do, right? So now this is what we already have. Now once you have this ready, the second thing is we need to basically list down the flows. Okay, I'm just going to kill it because we need to make now code changes. So I'm just going to kill the hello world program, and now this is where I like the npm CLI, right? What it does is basically it is going to it is going to give us some commands through which we would be able to the list down the flows which are available, which you can add. Okay, and then there is a command for us to basically also add the flow, right? So this is the line to add the flow, so we will do that, but first let's see what are the flows which are available. And as you can see, as soon as you will run this command, it will only list the flows which are solution aware. And in my current environment, there are only one flow which are added to a solution. It doesn't matter in which solution it is added. Ideally, if you think about it, generally when you are going to package this solution and upload it, you should upload it to the same solution where your Power Automate are, right? Because we wanted to keep all our components regarding a particular project or an app which you are building or a solution which you are building into the same solution. So it should have all your Power Automate flows, all the apps, if you have Dataverse tables, if you have connection references, and all of that should be in the single solution so that it is easily can be moved from one environment to another. So this is where I am listing the flows. Okay, so you can see here that it has listed the flows, which is basically the flow which we recently seen. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add this flow. Okay, and what I can do is I can copy this flow ID from here and paste it. And what it is going to do is it is going to basically generate some code here, right? That is how it typically does with the any kind of data source also. So it is going to give us the service method, the model method, the service class, the model class, and the methods and attributes to use based on the flow definition so that we can easily call that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add it. Just going to enter. Okay, so flow has been added successfully. And if you go to the code, what you can see is there is a folder called generated where we have some model class, which is basically kind of the schema or class for your input and output, right? And then what do you have is you have your service class where there would be method to basically call the Power Automate flow based on the connection and the connector which we are going to have, right? So it means that now what we have is we have the basic setup ready to basically call the flow from the codeps. And now what we need to do is we need to basically kind of program, and you can see here there are some explanation also here, and there is a sample code also here on how you can basically kind of call it from the apps, right? So let's do one thing. First thing is we will basically kind of import the code, but to create a simple method, what we will do is we will just need to add a button to our UI, right? So right now your UI looks like this, and we will keep it very simple, wherein we will add a button, and what that button will do is that button is going to call the flow, and whatever output we are going to get, we are just going to display it in the UI. That's it's very simple user interface, right? So let us go ahead and create the button, right? So if we come here in the apps.tsx, we will add the button somewhere here, right? So we will implement this method, we will have this variable and everything, but right now what we are doing is we are adding a button call Power Automate flow, and then we are displaying the result in the paragraph, right? Now second thing is to handle the cloud flow, right? So for that what we have to do is, as it was as in the documentation what we have, that we need to basically call the method, right? So first what we will do is we will just implement the method to handle the call flow as soon as the button is getting clicked. And then what we need to do is we need to basically call the import, right? So to do the import, we need to say, okay, this is the method. Is the method correct? Let's see. Yes, is the method is correct. And then we are just importing it, And then now what we need to do is we need to make sure that we are displaying it, and we are also uh, adding it into the set method of the flow result, right? So let us also add a state object for the flow result. Okay, so now you can see that what do we have? We do have a run method which is basically passing some value, text1, text2. This is the value which we are passing from the front end. This you can make it dynamic. Whatever output we are going to get, we are going to just display the output. First we are setting it in the state object, and then what we are going to do is we are going to display it in the paragraph, right? To keep it very simple so that you understand the concept of how you can call the Power Automate flows. So I'm just going to run, save this, and then let me just run it. Okay, so the run has completed, so it is going to refresh the page which we already had, and ideally it should have an extra button which should be called Power Automate Flows. So yes, you can see an extra button here, simple button, and once we are going to click the button here, right, and you can see that this is the error which we are getting. This is a typical error which we get as soon as you are going to load it for the first time, because the connection reference would have not been set. But when you were going to refresh the page again, and hopefully now when you are going to call the flow, you can see that flow has triggered, and the output one, which was basically a static test, output one was I am cold, which is a static test, and output 2 was hi there, which is what it has returned in the return one, right? And if you go to the flows, you would see that there would be a run history uh, of the flow few seconds ago, right, which is 25 seconds ago, and you can see that the flow execution has been successfully done, right? So this is how basically calling a Power Automate flow would work here. Now in the real world scenario, your flow can do more than just returning a static text. It can do more than just getting the input, but this is where you would know that what input you have to pass. You have to pass the input as a JSON object, and the name should be text1 and text2, which is basically kind of converted to input 1, input 2, input 3 in the front end, in the Power Automate flow, and then whatever output we are getting as a JSON in the result.data, right? So this is where you have to parse your output and then basically use it according to your needs. So yes, so that was a quick walkthrough and step-by-step follow on how we can integrate Power Automate flows with the Code apps, and basically kind of use them to perform any kind of backend automation or business process which you wanted to integrate into your application, right? We have also seen how we can pass the data dynamically, how we can process it, and how we can basically get the response back to the application. And as we said, this is going to be a very typical scenario when you are going to build the real world use cases. We have also briefly looked at the new MPM CLI approach for creating the Code Apps project, which is much faster and improves the overall development experience, right? So that is something which we have also seen here. I'll try to make a separate video on it if time permits, basically. I hope this video was very useful and it gives you a very good starting point. And if you like this video, do like, share, and subscribe to the channel for similar kind of videos around Codex, Power Platform, SharePoint, SPFX, and everything. And also share it with the community. Thank you. Thank you for watching.